Whenever I'm heading to shoot a project for a client, I tend to load up my car with a ton of lighting equipment that I just don't need. C-stands, sandbags, tube lights, cob lights, just so I'm covered on all fronts. But I've noticed this is the easiest way for me to get discouraged. Too many decisions I gotta make, I got too much gear, it's taking me way too long to set up shots. It makes me not even want to do anything. Through the process of creating hundreds of YouTube videos, here's everything that I've learned about creating cinematic shots of myself using only one light. It's important to note that these tips will help you a ton regardless of what lights you plan on using, but in this video I'm going to be using YCImaging lights. My typical go-to light when filming myself is a tube light. Here's why. This is the YCImaging PT4C. It's ultra lightweight, the battery is built in so I can use it anywhere, and it's full RGB so I can match it to any light source I'm trying to mimic. Now, I absolutely love tube lights. These are like my favorite right here, but sometimes the spread on the tube light just isn't as wide as I would like it to be. And this is where I might consider going with a cob light. This is the YCImaging 300C. It's also full RGB, has 300 watts of output, so it's extremely bright, and it's a bonus mount light, which means you can put a ton of different modifiers on it to shape the light however you want. If you want to use a big softbox and get soft light, you can do that. If you want to use the Spotlight SC and get very specific with the light spread, you can do that. If you want a bright hard source of light, you can also do that. Another must for me when choosing a light to film myself is app control. I have to be able to adjust the intensity and color from my phone so I'm not running back and forth from the light to the camera to my spot in the scene. After you decide on the light that you're gonna use, you're gonna run into two dilemmas. The first one is, where in the world do I place this light? And this is really all gonna depend on what type of lighting you're going for. Am I going for realistic lighting or am I going for a stylistic look? The lighting in this shot looks real. Other than the fact that I changed the white balance to a greener tone, the lighting here just comes together. We can see we have a street light just off a camera that looks like it's lighting the scene, but we also have the YCImaging PT4C tube light right off a camera as well, just enhancing this look. This is what we call motivated lighting. It's meant to look real. In this look, this light looks random and out of place, but it still looks cool. This is a stylistic look. Something you probably use on a music video or in a very specific spot in a project. Neither one of these are wrong, but it's just up to you to determine which one you're going for. For realistic or motivated lighting, you want to place your light from the exact same direction as the practical light that you have in the scene. So you can see right there, we have a street light, and then in front of that, we have the YCImaging PT4C, and that's just enhancing the overall light that we have available to us in this scene. Now, I did shift the white balance in this shot to a greener tone, but that's just to give us some contrast and colors to this light sound we have right here with this business in the background. With stylistic lighting, you can honestly get as creative as you want, but one thing that'll help you pop is using contrast and colors. Overhead lighting, Rembrandt lighting, and silhouettes are some of my favorite go-tos when it comes to stylistic looks. The second dilemma you're gonna run into is, how bright should I make this light? And to be completely honest with you, it's really no right or wrong answer to this, but this is how I approach it. When it comes to realistic lighting, the first thing that I always do on my camera is try to expose for the overall image with the available lights only. So that would be the garage in the background, the lamp next to me. Then what I'll do is I'll bring in my artificial light and try to match that exact same color temperature as the available lights and the intensity. That way my artificial light doesn't feel like it's overpowering the scene, and it still feels real. For stylistic lighting, it's really all about the look that you're going for. If you want a more contrasty look, you might want to boost your key light up way high and expose for that. That way, all the elements around your frame will be dark. And on the opposite side of it, if you want a nice, smoother roll off and a softer overall image, you might want to boost your ISO way up and then add in your light at a lower intensity. It's all about experimenting. Back 25,000 ISO. It probably looks terrible, but y'all noticed the behind the scenes, so it don't matter. Day one of this shoot, I'm excited. It's actually like day 3 because my first 2 days did not go as planned, but we here. I think I found my first location, the tunnel at the projects. You already know. All right, so before we get into this shoot, I want to quickly talk y'all through what we're trying to accomplish today. Obviously, we're trying to get cool cinematic lighting setups with one light. But the thing that I really want to focus on in this video that's going to be a little bit different than a couple of the previous videos that I've been putting out is that I really want to focus on focal length variety. Hold on, let me let this car go by real quick. The 24mm Sigma art lens is the lens that I've been using for pretty much 85% of the shots that I've been putting in my previous videos. I want to focus around using some higher focal lengths. Is that a fox, bro? I saw a fox tonight. I think I see another one right here, like staring me down like crazy. This is wild. You probably can't see, but you see that little dot right there? You see that little dot right there in the middle of the street? That joint is like staring me down, bro. I don't want no smoke with a fox, bro. Like none. Hopefully this fox don't run down on me. But let's get into it though. It's a lot of talking right now. I want to make sure I don't get eaten by this fox. What I'm thinking is we can utilize the lights that are already here and just enhance those inside of the scene that we're about to shoot. Instead of me putting together the whole R5C rig and setting it up on a tripod and trying to build a frame, I'm just going to use Artemis on my phone, which is an app, a viewfinder app, that will allow me to see what a focal length will look like on my R5C through my iPhone. So I can build out a frame without having to do all the extra stuff and figure out that I hate it after it's already done. So that's what I'm going to do now. This is a dope app though. You can choose your camera, you can choose your lens, you can choose your frame rate, you can choose whatever crop mode you're in, and it will give you an accurate representation of what that frame will look like on your camera. Woo! Alright, I think I found the frame. Ironically though, the 24mm looked the best. So I'm gonna experiment with that. The car's kind of far away from where I'm going, so I gotta load this stuff up here one by one, make sure I'm good, get this stuff rolling. The great thing about using the PT4C that I'm gonna be using, the Pixel Tube by YCImaging, is that it's lightweight. All I need is a stand and a tube light, and if I'm doing anything super sketchy, I'll throw a sandbag on that. But you should technically be throwing sandbags on all your stuff. I just be trying to get it done though, man. I ain't being politically correct every time I'm getting a shot. If I'm doing something and I feel like I'm good, I'm gonna just rock it that way. But I do got a sandbag. So. One thing you gotta love is wheels, man. Wheels on your light stand, wheels on your camera bag. Rolling it is a lot more dope than carrying it, man. I'm moving a little bit fast right now. I want to show you everything I'm doing, but I'm gonna have to briefly explain it to y'all probably after the fact, because this is the thing right here. You see we got the cars coming through. This scene and the way that I have it set up right now is that my light is gonna have to be in the street for like a split second. Great thing is that I'm in the tunnel so I can hear cars coming. So I'm gonna have to, you know, run out, move the light out of the street if that happens while I'm shooting. But I'm gonna break this down in a second. Just watch, just watch, all right? It was a lot happening, but essentially what I did was I used the R5C with the Sigma 24mm f1.4. I had it on a slider. I put the slider on the ground because that was where I had my foreground element for you to even be able to see that the camera was moving. We used the PT4C by YCImaging, the Pixel Tube. I love using tubes because they're lightweight and they have an internal battery, so I can basically take them anywhere. Another great thing about the PT4C is that it's app controlled, so I can use my phone, look at the screen on my camera, adjust the levels, adjust the Kelvin temperature, adjust the color, even the effects, and it's good to go. Now, where I just was is a little weird. You know, it can get a little weird at times, and I want to address this. This is probably going to be one of the most important things that I ever tell y'all. With these videos that I've been filming lately, the stuff of myself, a lot of people ask me in the comment section like, yo, are you ever, you know, sketched out being out with all this gear and, you know, leaving your camera yards away from you? And to be completely honest with you, no, I'm not, but it's because I know where I am, and that's the most important factor of this all. Just knowing where you are, having your head on the swivel, being aware, knowing what's going on around you. Oh my goodness, this lady looks like she's about to run out in the middle of the street. But yeah, knowing where you are, like, I'm home. I know where I am. I know when to do specific things. And if I was still in Atlanta, to be completely honest with you, I wouldn't be doing the majority of the things that I'm doing right now. I wouldn't take $5,000–$6,000 worth of gear to a sketchy, dark, tunnel in Atlanta and then walk yards away from my camera. Like, that's just not smart, you know? And you just gotta know where you are. I know where it's very safe at. I know where it's not a lot happening. I know where I gotta worry about my gear getting stolen. And you know, if you want to do stuff like this, make sure you know where you are and you know what's going on as well. If you ever visiting new towns, new cities, keep your head on the swivel. Don't do nothing over the top. I'm not finna take this to LA nowhere and and do no shots like this in a spot or an area that I don't know nothing about. You got to know where you are, man. And that's one of the most important things that I feel like I could tell any creator out there, because stuff happens. Stuff happens, bro. You never know. But you can alleviate a lot of the stress of something potentially happening by just knowing your surroundings. Know where you are, know what type of neighborhood you in, what type of people you around, know what type of time people is on too, you know? Where I was at just now, I know where I'm at, and I know it's a lot of weird stuff happening. So, you know, I got my head on the swivel and I'm in and out. I'm not sitting there and I'm not doing a bunch of stuff. That's one of the reasons why I just got one shot just now. It's not super sketchy over there in the projects. That's where I'm from. You know, I used to be there a lot when I was younger, but it's a lot of strange activity and, you know, a lot of foot traffic over there. So I ain't trying to be over there all day just posting up waiting for something stupid to happen. I think this gonna conclude the day though. I'm happy about the shot that I got, just looking at it on the screen of my camera, and it got me pumped up. That's usually what happens with these videos, man. If I'm ever feeling even a slight bit of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? If I'm even feeling a slight bit of discouragement, or maybe I just don't want to get in the mode of shooting, all I need is one dope shot. One dope shot and it's like, all right, we good to go. Let's just keep on rolling. So most of the time you just gotta start, man. Get out there and get the shots you need. We back, day 2, downtown today. I like downtown because it's a lot of different practical light sources that I can play off of. Whenever I'm making videos like this about lighting, I'm always looking for a scene that is pretty much already complete. I just have to insert myself into it and then make myself look good rather than having to light up a whole scene. Especially when it comes to only using one light. I can't light up an entire location with one light, but what I can do is find a location that's already lit, then bring my light in and light myself and make me look good in the scene. So this angle right here is kind of what I'm going for in this scene that I'm about to film. You see back there, the garage looks really cool, bokeh out. I think that if I can place myself on this wall, light myself inside of the scene, make myself look cool, then we can use the slider to give me some additional movement in the shot, and we can actually experiment with that 50mm that I've been dying to use. I want to get away from the 24 for a little bit. I also just happen to love higher focal lengths a little bit more than those wider ones the majority of the time. Let's hit the scene up and get it rolling. I'm probably blown out on the BTS because I just left it at 25,000 ISO. But what I'm doing right now is I got the YCImaging app pulled up on my phone, and I got that paired with the PT4C, and I'm trying to adjust the levels looking at my screen on my R5C over here to get the intensity and also temperature of the light to match the background light, so it looks like the background light is actually lighting the scene. This is like the make or break part of lighting. You know, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong, sometimes you get it close enough that people don't even notice it. So I'm just trying to focus on getting it close enough. Obviously, I don't know exactly what that lighting temperature is back there on the garage, but it's all about just getting it close and also matching the intensity so I look fine in the scene. One thing that I did forget that I can do with the YCImaging app and the PT4C is I can actually take a picture of the lighting source behind me and it'll match that source to the Kelvin temperature. I've never used this before, but let's try it out and see how accurate it is. 4250. 4250. Okay, you know what's crazy? The wild thing is I was already at 4200, so I was already pretty close comparatively to the source match option inside of the SideSync app, which is pretty cool. I be knowing a little bit, you know? Once I get all these levels set, we can go through, get some shots on the slider. Right now I'm using the R5C with the Edelchrome slider. I have the 50mm f1.2 attached to it. And we're gonna run through some takes, see what we get. So you can see from this angle right here, the light is just off of camera and it's lighting this side of my face, and then this side of my face is a little bit more shadowed. Obviously I got this at 26,000 ISO, so everything feels bright. But if I were to drop the ISO down, you kind of get what I'm saying. Let me just do that as an example to show you what's happening. Alright, this probably still looks terrible, but what I'm doing is I'm lighting the far side of my face. This is called far side keying, and this is how you get the most dramatic and like contrast filled shot. You shoot on the shadow side of your subject. Now, I'm not just doing this to shoot on the shadow side of my subject only. It makes sense because we have these light sources over here that could realistically be lighting it. This feels a little bit intense for this light source to be that far back, but if we drop the intensity, you understand what I'm saying. It's realistic. It feels like that light source back there could be lighting me up here, and that's basically what I'm doing. This gives us motivated lighting, and it also gives us the most amount of contrast in the shot. So that's why I'm placing the light where I'm placing it. If I placed it on this side, the shot would feel a lot more flat. I'd be lit well and you'd actually be able to see me, but when we look at films, this is how they're shot. This is how you actually make it look somewhat cinematic. I'm a little bit skeptical about that shot. I don't feel good about it. I don't think that the autofocus hit. I don't think that the lighting intensity is good, but I'm gonna roll with it, because if not, I'm gonna just be out here shooting this exact same shot all night, and I got other stuff to get. The great thing that I did like about capturing this shot is that you can see that all my equipment fit in my parking spot, so I really didn't even need to leave my car to get the shot, which is a great thing. Oh man, I just woke up. I ain't gonna lie to you, but we're shooting in the comfort of my house today. I'm gonna tell you why, but let's get this stuff set up. So today we're gonna be shooting with the YCImaging 300C. Now this light is special. This light right here is the only light that I've used of its kind. It is a 300 watt light. It's a cob light, but it also has Bowens mount and it's full RGB. I've never used a cob light that's full RGB. So this thing is very versatile. You can use it at pretty much any instance. And this RGB capability should help me a ton with the shots that I'm about to get right now. Now the reason that I'm using this light at my house is this right here. The 300C is an incredible light because of all the things that I just explained, but this light is not able to be powered with the V-Lock battery straight out of the box. If you want to use this on the go using a V-mount battery, you have to get the Aperture power station, which I do have, but I don't know why it isn't working for me. Maybe it's the voltage of my batteries or something. I just don't know, but I still wanted to make use of this light because it's so versatile, especially with the different accessories that you can use with it. The fact that the 300C is a Bowens mount light, we're going to be using the YCImaging spotlight mount on it. And this spotlight mount gets me excited for one reason. Pop this joint open real quick so y'all can see what's going on. This thing is freaking tiny. Hold on real quick, man. I know I've been getting a lot of new viewers lately. Thank you so much, by the way, for subscribing or even coming back to check out the content. But to my OG viewers who've looked at my behind the scenes videos for my music videos, if you have seen me in the past use a spotlight mount and compare it to the size of this thing is so freaking tiny. So for the people who don't know what a spotlight mount is, this thing right here essentially allows you to get very specific shapes of lights with just this mount alone. You can do incredible sculpting and shaping of light with this, and it's so freaking simple. All you have to do is adjust these knobs right here on the side. I realize I'm probably dark because the light went down. All right, y'all see the circle right here on the ground? I have the ability to make the circle incredibly sharp just by adjusting this lens on the spotlight mount. Let me show you real quick. All I have to do is adjust the focus, and just like that, this thing is razor sharp. And I can cut this down to any shape. If I want this to be just a slit, all I gotta do is draw these doors in like so. Boom, you got the slit. If I wanna make a freaking triangle, all I gotta do is adjust these doors to something like so. Slice of pizza. It's endless possibilities of things that you can do with this spotlight mount. The shaping capabilities are cool, but the reason why I want to use this right now is because of these gobos. Let me show you what these are and what they do real quick. Okay, so this is a gobo. You've probably seen these 1,000 times on YouTube at this point. This is like the go-to thing to add to your YouTube studio to make it look like it's fake blinds in your studio. This is what this is. It's a thin cut piece of aluminum or metal, and it slides straight into the spotlight mount, and it projects the shape of whatever the gobo is. Now with the spotlight mount, the Spotlight SE mount, you get different gobos. So what I'm looking to do is I want to throw one of these gobos into the Spotlight SE on the 300C, the Amaran light, and I want to throw it out of focus and shine it through these nice shears that I have in my window, just to replicate some moonlight lighting inside of the house, but break that light up so it's not like a constant hit of light going to the shears. Maybe it can feel like it's going through a bunch of tree branches before it reaches the window. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna go in and set up the camera and get these angles rolling, man. Let's get it. I gotta go out there and reset the Bluetooth and connect it to my phone. But you can see over here what the shape is doing through the shears. It already looks fire. Let me connect this light real quick. I gotta bring it down, and that's my fault. You're always supposed to reset your Bluetooth and connect to your phone before you throw a light up in the air. Don't ever do this. All right, I got the Bluetooth reset, about to connect this to the phone, but I wanted to show y'all another grip tip. I'm not a grip. I don't know everything about gripping. I just know, put a sandbag on. But this right here is another tip. Make sure your grip head is on the right side. That way, the weight from the light, when it's pulling it down, will actually tighten this grip head. If it was on the other side, this weight will loosen it, and then it could potentially fall. So that's just a quick tip, all right? All right, so I got the 300C connected. And this right here, what you're seeing is only at 1%. So, I mean, I have a ton of range that I can add to this lighting setup right here to make it look good. But you can see how the gobo is breaking up that light back there in the background, and it's looking like it's shining through a tree of some sort. So this is at 5600 Kelvin. We're looking to do something that is closer to moonlight. I got a ton of range to push this either to its top CCT value, but we also have the ability to go full RGB, which is a huge plus. So if we want to go like blue or teal, or like drop out some of that saturation from the blue to, you know, lean more back and towards the white, or we can go towards the teal, we have a ton of different range. If we want to go full on different, we can go red. So that's one of the huge benefits of using the 300C. You not only have that ability to you know, do the color adjustments, but you have bonus mounts, so you can attach a bunch of different accessories to this light to do cool lighting setups like this. Using the R5C obviously, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my first wide opening shot using a 24mm Sigma. Even though I said I'm trying to leave it alone for a little bit, I'm gonna get an establishing shot with this, and then we're gonna go in with the 50mm, try to get some more detailed stuff. I'm thinking I'm gonna put my slider on my bench. That way I won't have to set up a tripod. I can still get that down low angle, and it'll save me some time. So let's do it. Let's do it. That shot took me way too long and like low-key stressed me out. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I know it's gonna be worth it when it's all done and it all looks good and it all comes together. The pain is gonna be worth it. The problem that I had with that shot was just the autofocus, and that's to be expected. I'm literally in damn near pitch black darkness trying to expect the camera to catch me, and then the autofocus on the R5C is definitely not that good when it comes to low light shooting. I would have been way better on something like this potentially, but I think I got it. I ended up setting the camera to manual focus, so now what I'm about to do is throw the 50mm on here and read off some other stuff from the script just so I can reutilize this setup right here and not let it go to waste. Another day, another very ambitious idea. Let me tell y'all what I'm trying to do today. These windows right here create some of the best shapes on this wall right here when it's nighttime and I have these lights on outside the garage. Why not enhance that? Why not make it look cooler? The ambitious part of this idea though is that I want to have the light outside of the garage slowly rotating, almost giving us the look of a car passing by the garage and a light coming in, or something like Blade Runner, or something just cool with motion. I don't know how I'm gonna achieve this, but I have an idea that might work, probably won't, but we'll figure it out. I think the answer might be right here in this box. Pop this out for you. Okay, so this right here is what they call a Lazy Susan, which is essentially just an electric turntable. This is a knockoff version as well. I'll make sure to link it down in the description if you're interested in it at all. But basically what this does is it rotates whatever's on it at whatever speed you want it to rotate at. The problem with this though is that the surface of it is very, very small. And for me to put a light stand on here with a light on top of it is very, very dangerous, but it's my light and I want to get the shot, so I'm down to risk it all. I don't recommend you do this. Do what you want with your gear at your own risk, but just don't risk the safety of somebody else. With me, it's whatever, we're gonna figure it out. But, all right, so what I'm thinking is, hold up. Oh, y'all looking all the way in the air, bro, y'all wildin'. Relax, relax, bro. Now that I'm saying this out loud, I realize how incredibly stupid this sounds, and it's just gonna add to the danger factor and times it by 100. This cheap Amazon stand that I always talk about is literally the worst thing you could put a light on. I'm thinking, oh man, this sounds actually extremely stupid, but if it turns out fire, you can't do nothing but respect it. What if we make the light stand super small like that, right? Set it down on top of our Lazy Susan that's already tipping, and then we just rotate it. This might be a really stupid idea, but we're gonna figure it out. It might be cool. I mean, look at this. Look how crazy this looks. Put a light on top of it. Let me up the ante a little bit more. Hold on. Now, another dilemma with this shot is that this surface right here outside of my garage isn't level. So let's, this sounds incredibly wild, incredibly stupid, but I'm gonna try it anyways, because you know what? If it turns out fire and it's like that one shot that just pulls you into the video, like I gotta watch it, it'll be 100% worth it. Let me see. Set that down like so. I mean, that ain't too unlevel. That could be worse. That could be worse, actually. Grab a light stand. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, I don't know. I think it could be worse. It might actually be fine. We're gonna figure it out, though. Let's set up. Another potential issue with this setup that I'm trying to do is we can't have this continuously rotating, because it's gonna continuously ravel up the wire from the 300C. And then that's gonna eventually be a problem because it'll probably fall over. So I gotta go into the settings of this on the remote and try to figure out if I can get it to go to one stop and stop there, or it can just loop in a semicircle. That way it's not continuously rotating around. Maybe I could just do one long, slow sweep, go through whatever dialogue I need to do, and then just let that be the shot so it doesn't continuously keep going. But this isn't even responding to the remote at all, so I don't know if this is dead or what. I gotta figure this out. Do anybody else be mad when they gotta whip out the instruction manual? You just expect yourself to know how to work something. I'm gonna get this done though. This shot gotta be in the video. I see it just being so fire. Watch I do it and it don't even turn out that crazy. I gotta do it though, it has to be done. All right, peep this. I'm about to let it go. That is not gonna work. Okay, all right. Now we got a dilemma. How can I do this, yo? I have to do this shot. I gotta figure something out. I got some bungee cords. We gonna figure it out. I'm about to figure it out. Right now, you can see it's fine, but it's on total flat ground. This is like inside of the garage. And like I said, outside of the garage, we got like a slight slope. These are foam puzzle pieces that you put on your floor in your garage so that you don't have the hard concrete surface. This could be used as a leveling device. I could put this under the rotating table and maybe it'll level it out and it won't tip over. We just trying stuff. This is the process. Filmmaking is just problem solving. If you can problem solve, you can make films. Filmmaking is not the word. This is still not safe though. This is still not safe. It's some gaffers looking at this video right now about to have a heart attack. Grip dudes just like, what are you doing right now, bro? I tried my more expensive C-stand. It's too wide, it won't work. But I think I have another big brain idea. All right, okay, so what I'm thinking now, I have a table. I can put a table outside of the garage. I can put the rotating table on top of the stagnant table, and then I could put the stand on top of that, but I could balance the table out that way the light is more stable. That could potentially work. Also, the light won't have to go as high on the stand, which means it won't be as top heavy. I don't know. We're gonna try that. I'm getting this shot. I'm determined. This shot is gonna get got. I'm telling you. Your boy has cracked the code. I did it. This is stable and it's not gonna fall over. Let me show you exactly what I had to do to make this work. All right? Cause this is crazy. There's still gonna be some grip people in here losing their freaking mind, but it's just for some YouTube content and nobody's gonna get hurt. All right, so cut me some slack. Okay, so look, what we got right here is, we put this down so y'all can see. We got the table, we made the table flat. Then we got our rotating table right here. Then what I did was, I put a sandbag under this light stand, and then I bungeed the sandbag under the light stand, so it's keeping it stable, and it's like weighing it down from the bottom, so it's like not tipping. It's actually pretty stable. I got my motion programmed on the light, so it's going back and forth, and then once I drop the garage door, we'll see that pattern sliding across that wall right there. So let's just do a test run and see what that looks like. And then I also have something else that's gonna make this shot so much better. The moment of truth. The moment of truth. Let's go. You love to see it, bro. Let's go. You love to see it. Yo, it is incredible when an idea freaking comes together, bro. The light's over there and you get in the shape across the wall right there. Come on, bro. I'm gonna drop the ISO just so y'all can get a little bit of a taste of it, of the dramatics, all right? So that's that. The autofocus probably lost me at this point, but yo, peep it, bro. Sheesh. I got the 300C paired on my phone to Sidus Link so I can adjust the intensity, the color temperature, all that good stuff like that. But just look at it, bro. It looks freaking amazing. And I love that. make it like super duper orange, bro. Like we just straight up Blade Runner right now, you know? Come on, man. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing, bro. But yes, I got one more thing that's gonna make this shot so much better. Let me show you. Y'all wait right here, I'm gonna be right back. My neighbors is probably like, what in the hell do they got going on over there? All right, so look. The only thing that would make this shot better is atmosphere. I don't have haze, but what I do have is incense. So I'm gonna spark off a couple of these and just let the smoke fumes fill the area, and then we'll see those beams coming through the window. It's gonna look crazy, man. Let's start it, man. Let's start it. Sheesh. Your boy is excited, man. I love when stuff comes together. But this right here, I feel like gonna be the shot that's just gonna pull you in. Obviously, y'all have already seen it at this point because this is behind the scenes, but I ain't even seen the shot yet, so I'm just hyped. I don't even know what the shot finna look like. I don't even know what the shot finna look like. Let's go ahead and spark these up. Let this fill the air, you know. I feel like I might need a little bit more than a little bit more. Go ahead and let them fumes fill the air, you know. A little bit of that smoke. Oh, let me not burn my house down. There we go. You just need a little bit. Let that incense kick in. Get a little bit of that atmosphere. I'm gonna walk through here for a little bit. I'm gonna just let these burn off while I'm setting up the shot, and then once this is done, we should have some atmosphere, some beams coming through. I'm gonna set up the shot now. Set this in the corner. Just let this fill up the hand. I can't tell y'all how excited I am about this shot. Even if this shot turns out terrible, the really fun part about this was just figuring it out. Just staying persistent enough for the idea to even come to life. I could have gave up on that shot an hour ago. That's how long I've been at it at this point, but stick with it, you know? Stick with it, man, stick with it. Okay, so I'm setting up the shot right now. I got the R5C with the 24 millimeter f1.4 Sigma art lens. I know it's dark, but I'm testing out the lighting right now, so I need to see what's happening when the light is doing its sweeping. So, one tip for y'all is, if you're doing any sort of lighting setup that requires a lot of reliability with the autofocus, just turn it off. And if you can, just use a sit-in. So right there, you can see I got the box for the 300C. I'm gonna be around that area in the frame. I'm just gonna set focus on that, move it out of the frame, and then when I do my walking and talking for the actual YouTube video, I'm gonna just walk to that spot, and I'm actually shooting at a higher f-stop too, because I don't need super shallow depth of field. It's a wide shot. I want you to feel everything that's happening in the shot, and I got a lot of power from the 300C to be able to shoot through that window too. I'm only at 15% right now, and it's extremely bright for the shot. So y'all can see we got a lot of smoke from the incense, but it's just sitting. If you ever are using anything that's not haze, you want to make sure you waft it so it looks like it's not just sitting in the air, because that just doesn't look good. So I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, more ugly green footage. Who would have guessed it? All right, we at this next setup. I've already done a lot of the dirty work for this shot just because I wanted to make sure it was gonna work before I went through the process of showing it behind the scenes and me setting it up, and then it didn't work. Because that happens a lot of the times. There's a lot of BTS shot I actually don't see. Let me break the shot down to y'all real quick though. So this is a preview of the shot. It doesn't look that interesting, but I got a little in-camera trick that I'm gonna use to get the contrast and colors that I want for the shot. But this is just the angle. We got the R5C right here on the slider using the 24 millimeter. The reason I'm using the 24 millimeter is because the 50's been struggling a little bit. I mean, it's not that I didn't expect that, but it's been struggling, especially with these moodier lighting setups. Like if it was pure daytime and everything looked good, it would be fine. But with these moodier lighting setups, it's been struggling. All right, now if we break this scene down right here in terms of natural lighting already here, and what we can play off of to motivate the lighting, we have this huge I can't reach my arm over there. It's a light behind the trees. It's a street lamp over there, and I'm gonna use that to motivate the light that I'm gonna add into the scene. It's not gonna be this red color. I know this looks a little crazy, but it's actually not gonna be red. It's gonna be green. You're probably thinking like, yo, it's not green. That is where the in-camera trick's gonna come into place. Let me set this light up real quick though. I know this probably looks terrible, but just hear me out. All right, so just looking at the screen right here, you can see that it looks normal. It looks like the lighting is fairly normal, minus the red that we already have right here because the light's red. It's not gonna be red, it's gonna be green. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my white balance, and then I'm gonna go to my CC values right here, and I'm just gonna shift this all the way until I see green, green, green. And you can see right there in the background that it looks green. I'm gonna just press record so y'all can see what it looks like off the camera. It's out of focus, keep in mind it's out of focus. But you can see that it's shifted all the white tones in the image to a green color. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop into Sidus Link on my phone, and I'm gonna change this red color to a green color. And then we're gonna get the contrast and colors that we want, because we got that red back there in the light, in the we got that red back there in the sign for the store back there. Last and final location, it's industrial. We got this cool building right here, doors, blah 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 blah, blah, patterns, lights, whatever. Far side key lighting, same thing we've been doing this whole time, same way you should be approaching pretty much any lighting setup that you're going for. Obviously there are exceptions, but let's just make this easy, okay? PT4C, and then we got the R5C right there. And I'm just gonna be leaned up on this wall. I'm trying to figure out the lighting right now, but let's do it. I'm feeling lazy, I ain't gonna lie. It's been a long journey on this video, but we can get it done. Shot looks really stupid, and I'm trying to dissect it and figure it out. Why does this look so dumb? Why does this look so freaking stupid? Like, it doesn't look that bad on this camera. I don't know, I gotta figure it out. It looks trash right now though. This is that part of the process where it looks dumb and you gotta figure out why. I know this is not gonna be the shot of the day. I know that. I know for a fact this is not gonna be the shot of the day. Alright, man, this is a long one, but we ain't even done yet. But before we get into this other stuff, I want to give you a shout out because you made it to this far in this video. This video is extremely long, and I'm a little bit scared to put it out because it's so different, but I do feel like it's full of information. It just feels a little absurd to drop a 40-minute behind the scenes about like a 3-minute segment of cinematography, but that just goes to show how long these sorts of things can take to make. But go ahead and drop this down in the comment section below to let me know you made it this far, man, because I want to know who be watching these videos this long. But before we get into the best and worst shots of the video, I have to give a formal shout out to my sponsor, YCImaging, man. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, making this possible for me to create this cinematography breakdown, talk about these great lights. And these are just amazing options for creators out there. Everything from affordability to the feature set that you can get with these lights, and also the professionalism, the things that you create with them, as you guys saw throughout this entire video. YCImaging 300C is an incredible light. Bowens mount has tons of different accessories that YCImaging makes, but it's also compatible with other Bowens mount accessories as well. Incredible light, definitely recommend you guys pick it up. And then the PT4C, one of my favorites, tube lights. You know I love those. But they also have, you know, smaller options of these lights as well. They have the 150C that carries a lot of the features of 300C, except for that output wattage. And they also have a 2-foot version of the PT4C. So links in the description for all of that stuff. You guys want to check it out. I highly recommend these lights. And you already see throughout the video what they're capable of. They're great for creators, cinematographers. I can't recommend them enough. But let's get into the shots of the video. My favorite shot of this entire video has to be the shot that took me the longest to set up, the sketchy one, the one with 300C outside of the garage. And I think an element of this shot that makes it my favorite is just how much time it took for me to figure it out. A lot of the satisfaction with the shot was just in the process of figuring it out, trying to get it set up, going through the hardship, making my brain work. Like, this is what filmmaking is all about, and this is the part of the process that I really enjoy the most, even though it's like the most nerve-wracking. A close contender to that shot would have to be the one in my garage, in my dining room with me at the table with the 300C shining through the shears to give us that moonlight. I love the way that blue shine through on that shot. But my least favorite shot in this video, it would have to be this random red stylistic shot that I set up. I loved this shot when I was shooting it. I didn't put this part in the behind the scenes, but when I put it in the video, I'm like, I kind of hate it. So that's definitely my least favorite shot of the video. Nothing special. It was way too bokeh out. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy that. But y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all favorite shot in the video was. We pushing the limit, man. We putting out super long videos. This is super unlike the filmmaking space on YouTube. And honestly, I think this is the reason why I'm just gonna put it out. I think I want to provide different experiences, even though this feels a little irrational. It was only like a 4-minute section of cinematography, but I wanted to go in depth. I wanted you guys to come on that ride with me, to see me fail and see me figuring out the shot, see me hating a shot in real time, and then getting back to the computer to notice that, oh, I actually do enjoy the shot, because that's part of the process, man. So if you can relate, let me know down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite shot. Just do something engagement-wise for me. Drop this video a like if you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, you had to have liked it to some extent, man. So don't front on me, all right? But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all so much. Shout out to all the new people on the channel checking out the content again. I appreciate y'all as well. But I'm out. I've been talking a lot. It's been a long one, but yeah, we out, man. Peace. Let's go. You love to see it, bro. Man, that shot took me way too long and like low-key stressed me out. I ain't gonna lie to you, but